Good day, everyone. So this video is talk about the lysosome. So after we have talked about the Golgi apparatus, so now we continue to the lysosome. Lysosome is a small single membrane bound vesicles, which is an organelle. Okay, this organelle they have a single membrane. So this lysosome is produced by Golgi apparatus and found in animal cells. That means plant cell has no lysosome. Contain hydrolytic enzyme for degradation of food particles and bacteria. So here lysosome contain hydrolytic enzymes. That means the enzymes are carried out hydrolysis. The enzymes are functions at pH 5. Okay, the optimum pH for the enzyme, for the hydrolytic enzymes in the lysosomes is pH 5, which is abundant. Okay, lysosome is abundant in phagocytic cells like macrophages and neutrophils. In plant cells, the vacuole may function like lysosome because it contains many digestive enzymes. As I said just now, there is no lysosome in plant cell. So the hydrolytic enzymes, for example, RNase, which is used to digest RNA, DNA is used to digest DNA, carbohydrates, okay, or we call them aminase in more specific, protease for proteins, lipase for lipid, and phosphatase. There are still many hydrolytic enzymes. They are found in the lysosome. But here we just focus on the several which are what we call the common ones. For example, amylase, protease, lipase. These three. Okay, the membrane of lysosome is resistant to digestion of the hydrolytic enzymes and prevents the hydrolytic enzymes destroying the cell content. Okay, that means the membranes that bounds to the lysosome, they are specific. Okay, they are specific for protections from the digestive, or we call the hydrolytic enzymes. So because the inner surface of the membranes, they have the proteins, and then these proteins they have their what we call a specific three-dimensional shape. So these are specific proteins. They will protect the lysosomes membranes from the digestion by the enzymes or the hydrolytic enzymes. Okay, but once the lysosomes they fuse with the vesicle, for example, phagosome. So the proton pumps, okay, in the lysosomal membranes will pump the protons, okay, will pump proton from cytoplasm or cytosol into the lysosome. So this will decrease or lower the pH of the lysosome, and then it turns to activate the hydrolytic enzymes. So the hydrolytic enzyme will digest the particles or the food particles or bacteria or even those the damaged organelles that they fuse with. Okay, so from here you already know actually the general functions of the lysosome. So from here I divided it into 5 general functions. One is digestion of ingested food, okay. Then digestion of worn out organelle, or we call it damaged organelle, and digestion of pathogens, the bacterium or virus, apoptosis, and autolysis. Okay, now look at the digestion of food, ingested food. So the phagosome fuses with a primary lysosome. That means before that, the cells that engulf food particles, then to form the phagosome. Then these phagosomes will fuse with primary lysosome. So in this case, or when we want to describe the function of the lysosomes, so we use primary lysosome and secondary lysosome. So once the phagosomes fill with the primary lysosome, then they will form the secondary lysosome. As I explained to you just now, once the lysosome fused with phagosome, so the proton pumps in the lysosomal membrane will be activated to pump the hydrogens, ions, or proton from the cytoplasms into the lysosome, or we call the secondary lysosome. So these will activate the hydrolytic enzymes in the lysosome in turn to digest the food. Then the food particles are digested. Okay, they are digested. You can see here, hydrolytic enzyme in lysosome digest the food particles into the simpler components here. Then the product of digestion, which is the nutrients, are absorbed through the membrane of the lysosome. Okay, and then by the cell, so that can be reused. Okay, or for cell building. Then after that, the digested particles, the undigested particles, then move to the plasma membrane, fused with the plasma membrane and release the undigested particles by azocytosis. So this is the way how the lysosome digests ingested food. Then the next functions will be digestions of the worn out organelle, or we call it damaged or old organelles. So the function actually is similar to the ingested, what we call the food particles. Okay, but the different thing is here. Okay, the autophagy occur. Okay, what is autophagy? It's a process in which organelles such as mitochondria is surrounded by the smooth ER. So the smooth ER, they bounce with the old organelle or damaged organelle, so they form an autophagosome. So this is autophagosome, so it's by autophagy. Then these autophagosomes are fused with primary lysosome to form secondary lysosome. Then the digestion process is same like what we have discussed just now. Okay, digestions of pathogens also similar to the ingested food. The difference here is the pathogens are engulfed. Okay, are engulfed, so they forms what we call the phagosome. Then the phagosome will fuse with primary lysosome and then to form secondary lysosome. Then the digestions occur. Okay, apoptosis. Apoptosis is the programmed cell death for development and growth. Okay, you must use, and this is a programmed cell death for development and growth. So lysosome release enzyme to digest the tail of the tadpole or the larval tissue. Okay, during the analysis. Okay, also occurs during the replacement of cartilage by bone. Okay, from the embryo to fetus. Then when the fetus they have the cartilage instead of bone. Then after that, when they becomes a baby and the growths occur, so the cartilage, some of the cartilage are replaced by bone. Then remodeling of bone in response to injury, cell death and replacement in human skin and the intestinal wall, and specialized to form acrosome in sperm and digest the layer of egg before fertilization. So this one, everything is that talk about the apoptosis. Okay, how the lysosomes in the cells they what we call release the enzyme, okay, from the lysosome, then to digest the cell. So this one we call a program. It's a program, okay, cell death, and then for development and growth. Okay, apoptosis. So for example, here see apoptosis is essential for normal morphogenesis of hand and feet in humans and paws in other animals. Okay, so here you see the lysosomes in the cells are released so to digest this part of tissue, so that as you can see they form the finger. Then the last one is autolysis. Autolysis is where the lysosomes act as a suicide bed. That means in old or damaged cells, the hydrolytic enzymes in the lysosomes are released to digest the cells by autolysis. They mean to kill themselves. Okay. So this one also can occur in the cancerous cells. Okay, autolysis. That means the cell they know the cell already old or damaged, or maybe the cancerous cells, so they will undergo this autolysis. Okay, so remember the 5 functions in the what we call the for the lysosome. So this is overall here you can see this one is for digestion for the ingested food. Okay, and then if the ones is a phagocyte, so the digestion of the pathogen as well. And then this one is the autophagosomes for the one out on damaged organelles. Okay. So if in an individual deficiency in lysosome, so they will have the lysosomal storage. So this part is the extra information for you. Okay. So the mutations occur in the genes that code for the certain hydrolytic enzymes in the lysosome. So that means the lysosomes that produce it, especially in the brain cells that lack of one or more what we call the hydrolytic enzymes. So for example, the lack of lipase. So when they lack of lipase, so that means the brain cell or the lysosome in the brain cell are unable to digest or hydrolyze lipids. So the fat will be accumulated in the brain cell. So the brain cell will be expanded. So this process, this disease is called the test sac disease. So there are still many type of this what we call a genetic disorder disease that due to the this one lysosomal storage disease. Okay, so for example here there are many okay related to the lysosomal storage diseases. Some they are lipase, some they are protease or the amylase and so on. So that's all for this part of lysosome. Thank you for listening.